transparent boy. He was born transparent. Mom said David was packed from heaven, because even she didn't know if David was a boy or a girl. Although Mom couldn't see David, Mother's care is everywhere. I used to eat with a spoon. I have to practice my pronunciation before I speak. It's not that difficult to draw and play the piano, as long as I want. She would even play marbles with me all day, walking on high-heeled shoes, put on the red suspenders, just a few more turns. David just made his mother happy. But the weird thing is, Mom never took David out of the house. Even on a birthday, Mom just celebrated David with a 9 pack of bread. It turns out that the mom who talked to the air all day long was taken by the neighbors as a lunatic. She went through all this for David. The days went by. David is also becoming more and more curious about the outside world, until he saw a little girl out of the window. David looked at his sleeping mother. He had a bold idea in his mind. It was the first time David had gone out in 10 years. The sky is so blue and the clouds are so white. Even the song of a bird is so sweet. David walked step by step across the grass. He saw the girl who was drying in the autumn. He slowly approached. Ben thought it wouldn't be discovered. He didn't expect the girl to say hello to him. Can she see the transparent David? Ask carefully. It turns out the girl's eyes are blind, but her sense of smell is unusually sharp. Her name is Mary. David fell in love at the first sight of her. She doesn't seem to have any friends. That's how two lonely souls meet. They played hide and seek together, on the swings. Just look at the sunset for fun. Sad to walk in the rain. But the closer they get, the more David is afraid to tell her that he is a transparent man. Until this day, Mary said she was leaving. Mary was floating in the air, turning in a circle in an extremely elegant pose. Mary was very happy, and it's not because she has superpowers, just because she has a transparent boyfriend. But this day, Mary told David that she was leaving. It turns out she's going to go abroad for a site restoration operation. She said she was really looking forward to seeing what David looked like. Hear this. Half of David's heart went cold, because David knew that the parting was likely to mean loss. David couldn't be sure that after she regained her sight, can she still accept such a special him? But David kept saying it. He would wait for her to come back. Mary is really gone. I felt the pain of being apart for the first time. Every month after that she would write to David, tell David the progress of her operation, how she looked for the light, how much David loathes himself. Soon after, but Mom, David has a serious illness. On her deathbed, she told David about his father. His father was a little-known magician, but in a show of great change, the man had an accident. David's father had made himself disappear. He never showed up again. Maybe that's why David is transparent. The mother left. David cried with grief. After his mother left, there was only one man in the world who knew that David existed. Only when he sat in a daze on the autumnal stem where Mary sat, so David can feel his own presence. 7 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Mary finally recovered from her illness. She can see the colorful world, but she couldn't find the boy she used to be. She didn't know that on the day she came back, David was peering at her outside the house. The more David was afraid of losing, the more David dared not tell her the truth. She kept looking, finally put a letter in front of David's mother's tombstone. David couldn't wait to open the envelope. It's all about her love for him. This gave David great confidence. David decided to open his heart, tell Mary all his secrets. Girl slowly lifted the white cloth, but it's empty. She reached out her hand unconsciously. The moment she touched David, she took it back. She collapsed to the ground as she wept. David's worst fear still happened. David put a blanket over her, and then left in silence. Day 2. Mary slowly awoke, only to find that David was nowhere to be found. She saw the farewell note David had left for her, silently left tears of remorse. At last Mary knew what was most important. She started looking around like crazy for David, and she's got nothing. Mary could only close her eyes again, to the river with her feelings, and that's when there was the sound of diving in the distance. Next second, Mary jumped straight into the lake. She saved David by instinct. They held each other close again, and agree with each other, never to be apart again, without the eyes of the world. They have regained the feeling they used to have. David also found the right profession for him, the magician, in front of the stage to perform the magic of soaring. Finally, they also ushered in the birth of new life. Mary took a special picture of the family for the three of them. This is a little refreshing fantasy movie. It tells us a simple truth. As long as it's two people who really love each other, no matter what kind of difficulty, all of which can be overcome.